Welcome to my weekly reading. I kind of finally feel well enough to do one of these. And I thought this week I would start the piles with the mindfulness exercises from my mindfulness jar. And so I have chosen 3 at random. And I'd just like to see which one you are drawn to, or 2, or all 3 if you feel it's necessary. Okay, the first one we have is a gentleman playing the banjo for pile 1. The pile 2 has M&Ms having a good time. And pile 3 has this sort of curiously like box-like, almost robot-like figure standing by the sea. So, 3 very curious, very interesting pictures, and I wonder what they're going to reveal to us and what the mindfulness exercises will be for them. So, I will give you a few moments to ponder and to see which pictures you are drawn to, and then I shall see you in your reading. For now, take care, and I'll see you soon. Hello, Pile 1. How are we doing today? Hopefully, brilliant. Right, okay, you chose the man with the banjo to be your mindfulness challenge for the week. So let's have a look and see what Man with the Banjo has got to say. Right, we've got here mindful listening. This exercise is designed to open your ears to sounds and in a non-judgmental way. Most of us hear what is influenced by our past experiences, but with mindful listening, we can achieve a neutral present awareness. Choose a piece of music you have never heard before. Close your eyes and put your headphones on. Do not judge the music by its genre, artist, or title. Let yourself go and let the music take you on a journey. The idea is just to listen without preconception of the lyrics or instrumentation. Find a quiet space to listen to a new song today. So perhaps try that out every day this week and see what you come up with. And if you have any interesting experiences, why not pop it in the comments below? Anyway, let's get down to the rest of the reading, for we have a lot to get through. Right, okay. Your tarot for this week is the Secret Tarot, okay? And we have first of all, we shall start with, especially as this is a musical mindfulness reading today, or musical mindfulness start to the reading. We'll continue on the music theme by going off with one of our music oracles. And today's oracle is, let's see here, is Miriam Makeba. I hope that's right. I hope that's spelled right. Miriam Makeba. Now, let's see if we'll find out a little bit more about her. She's certainly not somebody I've ever heard of. Aha, here she is, Miriam Makeba. Right, she was born in South Africa in 1932 and died in 2008. Interesting. Right. The South African singer Miriam Makeba was banned from her homeland for 30 years, subsequently exiled from her adopted America, but she became a superstar of world music decades before the term was invented. A tireless anti-apartheid campaigner, civil rights activist and spokeswoman for the oppressed, Mama Africa was the first African artist to have made an international impact. Her melodies, her effortlessly soulful voice and haunted melodies express the pain and exile of dislocation and the articulated universal themes of struggle and self-determination during a period when that message was most urgent. So that's really fascinating. That certainly sounds like one for the old mindfulness exercise, doesn't it? So research her and perhaps listen to some of her music. You might find that really inspiring. I certainly think I would. Anyway, right, we'll pop Miriam up here and see what other inspirations we're going to get from this reading. It just feel, when you look at her energy feels really powerful. Right, okay. Now, the Avalon Wisdom Tarot. No, they're not Wisdom Tarot. They're the little guidance. The Avalon Magic guidance cards is next up. Okay, and we have this beautiful picture here of. This could be Guinevere, but I doubt it because of the sort of gill-like formations on her face. It could almost be perhaps this is a water nymph or even the Lady of Lake herself. So let's have a look, see what we've got to say. Love yourself for the courage you've shown to arrive. I'll say that again. Love yourself for the courage you've shown to arrive at your best version today. Very interesting. Right. Okay. And with the Whispering Woods cards, I'm going to give you your words for the week. Right, and we have idle hours and talk and growth. So, idle hours and growth. Okay. Now, idle hours say take some time out to lie on the emerald grass. Well, some of you might be able to do that. It's a bit cold here, so I'm not really sure how whether you want to lie in snowy grass. Although the grass, bit of yawn there. Just see what that means. But anyway, yeah, perhaps it does mean lie on the grass. if you live in a really nice warm area at the moment, I'm not. It's all cold and wet and horrible, and it's been trying to snow, and certainly up north it's like really bad up there. But if it's warm where you are, head out, find a nice spot of grass to lay on, and have a nice lay down. There we go. And then the growth card says, the tallest tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. So yeah, if you're looking for a new project this week or start an adventure, why not? Monday's a good day to start. So, or Sunday. Ooh. Again, I'm recording. It normally means when I yawn that there's something that I need to take notice of. In fact, it is gone for both of those cards. I've yawned on both of those cards. Means definitely there's some energy here between them that encourages. What I'm feeling is encouraging you to get outside. If you've been cooped up indoors for a long time and the weather suddenly turned good, get right out there, go lay back on that grass and really soak in that warm, lovely weather. Anyway, and think of me shivering to pieces down here in England. Righty ho. Let's move on to the Believe in Yourself magic cards, which I absolutely love these. Right, we have, first of all, we have nostalgia. Focus on the here and now. Yes, I'm listening. Don't digress. And mirror. Treat your body like the palace it is. Okay. Now I can see from here already. Energy I'm getting here is stop looking back at what maybe we, to a few years ago. Oh, I wish I could get back to my figure being how it is. You look at the imperfections you are now and think, oh, I wish I could be what I was, a few years ago. oh, I put on so much weight, oh, I look terrible. And I think there comes a point where we've got to stop thinking like that, because um, we should value our inner selves more than we should value our outer selves in a way. Our outer selves are just a shell. This is just a shell. This is just a vehicle that moves you around. It can be pleasing to the eye, and sometimes it isn't pleasing to the eye. But everybody has fat days. Everybody has ugly days. Even the biggest film stars have days where they don't look like film stars. And to be honest, they're just normal people. They just have people to make them look good, professional people. And half the time those pictures are so doctored that you're not even seeing the real person. So I think what this is saying is stop looking back at what you were and focus on what you are now. Value you for what you are now, because you are valuable. And if people can't see if they're only looking at the outside of you, if they're not looking into your soul, then they're not worth it. I know that sounds, you know, it's difficult to see that, oh, well, nobody ever sees you for what you are. Well, then they're the wrong people. You know, the right people that come along in your life, be they friends, be they lovers, partners, whatever, they should be looking at what's inside of you, not what's on the outside. So, you know, stop looking back. Just focus on the here and now. This is what we're looking at, here and now, and just, treasure what you are, because you are special. Anyway, let's move on to the next cards, and we're going to go for the witches. I think it's the witches oracle. Is it everyday witch oracle? Yes, right. I love these little happy little cards. Right. Ooh, some more love. Right. First card I get, accept love. Accept love. Definitely this week. In whatever form it comes. Whether it's a friendship love, whether it's lover love, whether it's partner love, etc. Accept love when it's given. Accept the compliments. Accept, which is really hard. I'm really, really bad at that. I really find it hard to accept compliments. It's something I'm trying to work on. But I kind of feel guilty whenever anybody says something nice about me. I'm trying not to do that. So I know how hard it is. But yeah, accept love, accept positivity, because when you accept it, I know you kind of have to balance it off feeling a little bit vulnerable and a little bit, especially the culture that I grew up in, which is a little bit, I wouldn't say it's English culture, to be honest. I grew up in a cult, so we were taught to always think bad of ourselves, to not think of ourselves, to, especially as women, we were much lower than men and all that kind of thing. And you're taught not to accept, love, compliments, all that is bad, And what we're saying here is the opposite. Accept love into yourself, because it will make you feel so much better within yourself, and it will heal you. So, you're okay. I'm sort of feeling like the energy I'm getting from this whole reading is that whoever is being drawn to this is having a real crisis of confidence. And they're needing a pep talk, and they're needing someone to say, come on, you're okay, it's all right. So if that's you, yeah, I'm talking to you, you're okay. You'll be fine. Just believe in yourself. Right, okay. Healing waters as well. So we've got accept love and healing waters. So yeah, hey, go for a swim. Actually, I do find whenever I go swim, when I get the chance to go swimming, when I've finished swimming, when I've finished that, I always do feel really energized and as if I've been purified. I mean, you can go and have a bath or something or a shower. When I bath, because I'm allergic to what do they call it? The bubble baths. So I always have salt baths and things like that. But again, it's so cleansing. It takes all that negative energy away and just makes you feel really lovely. But yeah, definitely. I just feel a real sense of self care, self healing, stop putting yourself down, stop feeling negative about yourself. Stand up to all those naysayers. Stand up to all the people that want to oppress you. Listen to our Miriam here. Stand up to those who want to put you down and make you feel like you're nothing, because you are valuable, you are special, and you are wonderful. Right. Anyway, tarot. Here we are, the tarot. Right, here we go. So we have, for your tarot this week, the first card is Ace of Cups or Ace of Chalices. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by Fifth of Cups and the Eight of Swords, and finally the King of Cups. Righty ho. Again, I can see that self-doubt kicking in, that self-doubt trying to imprison you. I just feel you've either been working on a project or working on yourself, and really making progress with that self-development. It's almost like you've been the bud and you've been really working on yourself, and that bud is starting to open, it being spring as well. You're starting to blossom, you're starting to respond to the sun returning and soaking up those sun rays. Not right here though. But that's the kind of feeling I'm getting, is it's all starting to pay off. But there is this element here of self-doubt, this Five of Cups and the Eight of Swords, and it's kind of trapping you. It's kind of making you feel like, I'm still not good enough. I can't do this. You're almost there. You're almost at the finish line, and it's like you're slowing down. But the finish line is literally around the corner. Just push yourself a little bit harder. You can do this. Pardon me, bit of a cough. I've been trying to get rid of flu for about nearly 3 weeks. But anyway, it's just, once you've overcome this sort of final hurdle, we've got the I want to say the river here. This river here. This gentleman's looking out across the river. It's almost like it's the last hurdle to get to your destination, to reach your goal. You're so close. But then this comes in and you're like almost too scared to wade across that river. And again, water, emotions, healing. Here we go. Again, you're almost you're at the river, but it's actually really small. It might look quite big, vast and scary. Looks like the current, I might drown if I try and cross it. But actually it's this. It's just this little trickle, it's nowhere near as bad as what you think it is. And it just takes, a couple of steps, maybe even over the stepping stones. There might be someone to help you, stepping stones might be there, and just go for it. Why not? Because at the end of it, there is recognition. There is triumph. There is you're going to feel like the king lifting the goblet there in triumph and say, I did it, and I'm really proud of myself. And you should be proud of yourself. You've done amazing, Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I've really enjoyed this reading. I think I feel energised after this reading. I don't know about you guys, but I hope it's put a smile on your face and set you up for the week nicely. So all that remains to be said is take care of yourselves, and mind how you go. And don't forget to leave me a like and a little comment. Oh, and subscribe as well. That would be really lovely. So I'll let you go now. Take care. Bye. Hello, Pal 2. How we doing? I hope we are ready for another jam-packed week, and hopefully this will kickstart you and seeing what energies are floating around for you this week. Right. Well, it really feels like there's a sort of party atmosphere with your mindfulness card this week. Yeah, with our M&Ms. Obviously, somebody's up for a laugh and a game. So let's see what the mindfulness exercise is. Right. Okay. The M&M game. Today buy a pack of M&Ms or similarly coloured sweets. So you could go for Smarties if you don't like M&Ms. So some people don't. Then tonight, when you have the chance for a little alone time, start to enjoy them whilst doing the following. For every red one, say one thing that makes you happy. For every blue one, say one thing that makes you sad. For every green one, say one thing that makes you angry. And for every yellow one, say one thing that makes you excited. For every brown one, say one poor choice you have made today and what you could have done differently. And for every orange one, say one good choice you made today. Interesting. So that might be something really good to. You could do it in one day, or you could maybe do it towards the middle, or maybe towards the end of the week, maybe Thursday or something like that, where you've sort of got into the meat of the week, and you're sort of giving yourself a little bit of reflection time and chomping sweets at the same time. So, right, okay. Let's see what we got in your reading. Right. So the first card I'm going to look at is our music oracle card, because I do like to give you a nice little music oracle card for each of my readings. And the card you have today is Bob Marley, of all people. Excellent. Love his music. So it's one of those. My dad had several albums of his when I was a little girl, so I grew up listening sort of reluctantly. As children, you don't always appreciate the music you're listening to, but my dad was quite a Marley fan. He was a music fan, full stop, really. Well, he is, really. Is he still with us? But anyway, let us find a little bit on Bob Marley. There we are. Right, okay. Bob Marley, born in Jamaica, 1945, and died in 1981. Right. Champion of equality, chronicler of black people's struggle for freedom, sufferer, eloquent witness, and fearless enemy of down pressers and colonialists everywhere. Bob Marley remains the spokesperson for the oppressed and an icon of liberation decades after his death. He put his life on the line to express the truth, and his music, and an irresistible mix of righteous rebellion and physical and spiritual joy, continues to give a voice to the displaced people worldwide. Marley understood that the struggle for power might result in bloodshed, but he also maintained that if humankind failed to stand together, it would fail to stand at all. Well, quite profound. And we've got here the each of these cards has like this little bit at the bottom here, which represents attitude, lifestyle, and inspiration. And we've got for Bob Marley, we have a small axe can fell the tallest tree. The fruits of Babylon are rotten to the core. That is his lifestyle one. Everything that is holy among us is here on earth. There's some wise words there. He certainly was a wise old sage, I would say. Anyway. Right. So he's going to govern our reading, and I can certainly sort of hear sort of his music floating through my mind at the moment. So hopefully that will give a nice vibe to the whole reading. Anyway, the next card I'm going to look at is my Avalon Magic guidance cards, and we have a lady here who could be it could be Morgana, maybe, perhaps. I don't think it's Guinevere, but she looks quite mystical, so this could be Morgana, not Morgana, Morgan Le Fay. I'll get that right. Right, I'm not that clued up. I don't really resonate much with the Arthurian legends, so I sort of more resonate with sort of Fae stuff. But know a little bit. Anyway, allow the true love of your soul to radiate, and you shall see the natural beauty around you expand. So, we need to look about ourselves and see things with a deeper understanding. I'm sure Bob Marley would agree. Right, anyway, our Whispering Woods guidance cards have got 2 lovely words for us this week. Grounded, keep your roots and stand taller than the trees. Keep your roots and stand taller than the trees. There we go. And time, embrace the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun. There we are. So we need to be grounded, and we need to make better use of our time. We could all do with making better use of our time. I know I certainly could. Anyway, right. So let's see how this pans out. Next ones I'm going to do are the Believe in Yourself magic cards. And the 2 cards we have for that are Lighthouse, Don't Doubt Your Worth. Okay. And Princess, You Can Be Your Own Knight. Okay. You can rescue yourself. You can definitely rescue. You do not need somebody to come and rescue you. The chances are there isn't anybody coming to rescue you. The only person who will rescue you is yourself. That's one thing I have learned in life. There are no princes. There are no heroes. The only hero you can count on is you. Anyway. Lighthouse, don't doubt your worth. No, I'm always enough. Hanging this up to remind herself, this lady here, she's hanging it up to remind herself that she is enough, she is worthy, and not to let anybody put her down. She's brilliant. And as I say, in the other one, we have the Princess in the Tower preparing to fight her own way out of the tower. She's going to kill her own dragon. So whatever thing, whether it is a dragon, whether it is a witch keeping her up in the... although we witches don't do things like that. Whoever it is keeping her in the tower, she's going to go down there and she's going to slay the hell out of them. I do like that. I do. I think it's really one of my favourite cards in that deck. But anyway, yeah. So we need to stand up for ourselves. We need to make better use of our time. We don't have time to worry about what other people are saying about us or thinking about us, and we can't always rely on other people to pull us out of situations that we are actually capable of getting ourselves out of. So that's how we're going so far for this week. Right, the next one we've got the Everyday Witch Oracles, and again these are lovely little cards, and the first one we have is Change and Progress. There we go. Moving across the river there on a raft that perhaps we've constructed ourselves, again getting ourselves out of a situation rather than hoping that someone's going to come along and rescue us. Nope, we're rescuing ourselves. Good for us. And then the other card we have is Meditation for Clarity. Now, the feeling I've got here is once we have got ourselves out of our difficult situation and we are absolutely sure of ourselves, and I tell you what is interesting is this young lady's hair here in this deck. You've got this lovely multicoloured, beautiful multicoloured hair that she's got. And then when we look at this picture here, we've got, again, this lovely sort of multicoloured purpley hue that's in this sort of enchanted water. And perhaps it's sort of, there's a real sort of hint here, and also my the tarot cards that we've got, because this week's tarot cards that we are using for pile 2 is the Pagan Tarot, so they have purple on them. So there's a real strong feeling of purple and the importance of purple. Purple's one of my favourite colours, so maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, these two decks are really sort of, purple's a royal colour, a magical colour. It is a colour to be taken notice of. So, it says, do not doubt yourself. It says, I am here and I am ready. So, time to really push yourself forward. Not only are you rescuing yourself, you're pushing yourself forward this week. Okay, so also making sure that you have time to reflect. So what we've got time here, the cards with that, with the meditation for clarity, I kind of feel perhaps maybe towards the end of the week, you need to sit back, meditate and reflect on everything that has been going on for you. Perhaps do a little bit of journaling, just sort of, give yourself a little bit of time and space to reflect, and obviously to munch a few M&Ms. So. It really feels like that exercise, I really do feel, will help you towards the end of the week, and a nice little treat as well. Anyway, right, we're going to get into the tarot reading now. Okay. We have, for the first card, we have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Two of Pentacles. Next, we have the Elder of Wands, and then the Tower. And finally, we have Five of Swords. Right, okay. Yes, my tower in this deck is a little bit raunchy. But anyway, we'll come to that. Right. Now, what I kind of getting from this is that perhaps people there's like been talk about you, gossip, and it's saying the energy I'm getting here is people are talking about you perhaps a little bit negatively, perhaps gossiping about you, and the feeling I'm getting here is don't rise to it. It would be really, really tempting to respond to it, to tell people to stop it. It's wrong. It's like you're being unfairly maligned. But you kind of need to just, sometimes the more powerful thing is to say nothing. It is just to say nothing. Because as soon as you open your mouth, as soon as you go at somebody, then they can turn that against you. However much you're justified in your anger, my feeling here is it says control that urge to go at somebody, and cleanse and reflect, and as I was saying earlier about getting yourself out of a hole, and not relying on other people. I think this is where this strongly feels. It's like what I would say. It's almost like you need to, rather than go and respond and rush straight in, you need to prepare yourself, give yourself an escape plan. People are trying to trap you in this tower. They're trying to make you out to be something you're not, or get you in a situation, or force you into a situation, which, if they can succeed, is a no-win situation for you. And you need to start planning your exit strategy, because they are, you know, they do not have good intent, and it's time to say, put a full stop to it. As I say, you need to, with the tower, and I won't show that picture again, in case of, because it's a little bit rude, but the general consensus with that picture is that you're seeing something for what it is, and it ain't what you wanted, and so you're turning your back on it. And so my really strong feeling with all these other bits, you have the power to do it. No one's going to come along and save you from this situation. You have to save yourself from this situation, and you have to turn away, have an exit strategy, and go. And I'll bring this one up here. Get across that river on your own. Lash that raft together. Get yourself out of Dodge, because you don't need this. You really don't need this. But you can do this. You are strong enough to do this. And you will find, Exodus. Bob Marley again, Exodus. So just really have that shouted strongly at me, Exodus. That's the feeling I'm getting from this. Time to go. Time to get out. Okay. I hope you found that useful, and I hope by the end of the week you'll have got out of whatever the situation is you need to get out of, and you're sitting in bed eating your M&Ms and having a good old reflection time. Okay. All that remains to be said is take care of yourselves and mind how you go. And don't forget to leave me a like and a comment, and preferably subscribe as well. Okay. See you soon. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. Now, there seems to be something really mysterious about this reading. Normally my musical oracle cards, the more that I work with them, they like to be almost like the star of their own show, the star of their own reading. I find that if I pull more than one, they don't quite work. So I don't know, two have come out together and they wanted to come on to this reading. So, okay, fine. We'll see how they work together. I don't know what ones they are yet. But yes, we have this mysterious little fella for our mindfulness exercise. So I thought, he's sitting by the sea, and he says on the front of him, it says small me, like me. So this is going to be interesting. Right, let's see what he's got to say. Notice I exercise. Interesting. Today, for the whole day, become aware of every time you use the word I in a sentence. This forces us to focus on how self-centered we all are. This could be quite a shock of just how many times you use I. You can also keep count. It may be surprising. Very interesting. So one day this week, see how many times you use the word I, and see what happens. Perhaps you could write a little comment and let me know what happened. Be interesting to find out. Right, okay. I am going to next look at the Avalon Magic cards, the Avalon Magic Guidance cards, and we have here. This could be a priestess. and she's calling to the lady on the lake, or maybe she's rowing off to Avalon, who knows. But she looks quite mysterious herself, doesn't she? We don't know what her face looks like, but she seems to be stopping in the middle of the water. Perhaps and it looks like she's looking into the fog and holding her hands up. So maybe she's trying to raise the mists of Avalon or something. Who knows? Anyway, let's see what the guidance says. It says, live your own authentic life with courage. To be your true self, renew your focus. So, I'm wondering whether this little guidance here about the I and seeing how, I'm not sure if it's about being self-centered. I actually think that might actually be a positive thing. Perhaps we do actually need to to go inward and focus on ourselves, and perhaps we're not focusing on ourselves enough, because we do need to focus on ourselves in order to improve ourselves. So let's see how the rest of the reading goes. But before I do the music oracles, I'm going to do the Whispering Wood words, as it were, words of guidance for the week. And the first one I have is flow, which is go with the flow as water runs down a river. Do not hurry. Okay. And then towards the end of the week, we have opportunities. Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. So, it's very interesting. Right. Okay. Right, let's get into our music oracles and see what we've come up with. Right, first of all, we have Patti Smith. Okay. And then we have Keith Richards. Got a bit of Rolling Stones going on. So this is certainly definitely my one of my best eras. Anyway, the sort of 70s, and I was born in the 70s, so and my parents were quite young at the time, me being the oldest. So yes, we've got to listen to all that kind of 70s, 80s, and 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's kind of my era. Right, okay. So Patti Smith we'll look at first, and her because each of these have got like a little bit on the bottom which represents lifestyle, attitude, lifestyle, and inspiration. And for attitude, for Patti Smith, we have Jesus died for somebody's sins, but not yours. And lifestyle, learn to make peace with eternal dissatisfaction. And for inspiration, the most powerful form of rebellion is of the spirit. Yes. She was quite a rebel, if I remember rightly. Anyway, let's find a bit about her. I do find with these, it's more of an energy that kind of governs the reading. So it might be when these people come up in the readings to maybe sort of seek out their music and give it a good listen to. Right, here we go. The self-mythologizing high priestess of Bohemia, Patti Smith transcends the confines of rock, poetry, and politics. Her debut album, Horses, was truly groundbreaking, confrontational, defiant, and completely unafraid of the ugly. Smith and her band, the magic trashy pop into convincingly aesthetic, trance-inducing photo-punk art music. Her unapologetic androgyny, as photographed by Robert Mapplethorpe for the Covers album, represents a key moment in the reversal of the female gaze. She looks at us and couldn't care less what we think of her. Smith made it okay to be female, to be an outsider, to be ungroomed, to read, to write, to have ambition, to let yourself go. It was radical for a woman in 1975, the year I was born. and it is still today. And yes, Patti Smith, born United States, 1946, and it's still with us. Right. So our other fella is Keith Richards. Mm-hmm. Rolling Stones, United Kingdom, 1943. So same era. Right, here we go. Keith Richards' little blurb on the front. Attitude: be your own best impersonator. Lifestyle: never be accused of anything you haven't already confessed to. And finally, inspiration: laugh at your own darkness. Oh, I like that. Right, okay. Here we go. Keith Richards and the Rolling Stones introduced generations of pampered post-war teens to the grooves, raunch, sex and swagger of the blues, teaching them how to dance with the devil. Despite being the piratical poster boy for excess and intoxication, Richards has been the backbone of the Rolling Stones for 6 decades. He is the unstoppable human riff, a living, breathing pharmacopoeia who embarked on one-man non-stop bacchanalia at some point during the 60s, and who has been teetering on the edge of oblivion ever since. Didn't he play Jack Sparrow's dad at one point? Yes. Richards remains the ultimate saviour, the elegantly wasted embodiment of an enduring myth of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Amen. Lovely. Right. So this is the energies that you have for this reading. We've got a bunch of rebels here. Brilliant. Lovely. Oh, I do love my rebels. Right, here we go. Let's have the rest of this reading then. You lot is a right mysterious bunch, definitely. Right, okay, here we go. Right, for our next cards, we have the Everyday Witch Oracle. So, and the first card we have for that one is Prayers and Wishes. There we go. So, she's our Lady Witch here is perhaps casting wishes down the well. We've all done that, even when we weren't supposed to be. And the next one is Make a Move. So, yeah, make a wish, make a move. I like that. It's no good just sitting there wishing it and expecting something to happen. You've then got to do something afterwards. That is sort of the art of spell making. You set your intention of what you want and then you make it happen through your actions. So let's see what we got here. And our next 2 cards are the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle cards. Right. We have Protest, Start a Revolution. God, you are all a bunch of rebels. I love you. And finally, we've got Phoenix. How's that for a happy ever after? Yeah, we're going to rise from the ashes. We're going to protest and rise from the ashes. It's time, people. We need to stop thinking that, hiding away is going to save us. We need to be true to ourselves. We need to find ourselves. That exercise again about looking how many times we say I. Maybe we're not saying I enough. Maybe we need to be out there, out and proud, saying I will not put up with this any longer. I'm a rebel. I am. Yes. Getting really caught up in this energy, aren't I? Anyway, right. Yeah, so definitely now it's time. Now it's time to take action and time to put all our plans in motion. All right. So now we come to the tarot cards, and these ones are the Darkwood Tarot. Which, what a surprise for you, rebelly lot. You like your dark fairy tales? Well, here we are. We've got our witch navigating her way through the dark wood and through this tarot pack. So let's see what we've got here. And the first card we have is Justice. Very interesting. The second card we have is the Empress. The third is the Star. Got lots of, in fact, first three have been major cards. The fourth is the Nine of Wands. And finally, the Page of Swords. Right, very, very interesting. Very, very strong. Again, there is such strong energy here. There's such a sense of thing I get when I look at the Justice card here. It's just we've got two women bound and blindfolded at the bottom, and that can be a sign of, like, with some covens, if you're sort of that witchy way. Some covens do that as part of an initiation ceremony, but it's almost like these women are looking up towards Justice, who has the sword, and it's not like they're looking towards her as if expecting her to dispense justice on them. To me, it feels like they are waiting for her to give the order of who she is wanting justice expended on. As if as soon as she gives the command, those chains will be broken. They will break those chains. They will rip those blindfolds off, and they will go and do what they have been commanded to do. They to me, these ladies at the bottom there, they just have this energy of, we're ready and waiting for our orders. We're ready and waiting. So yeah, who is ready and waiting to be at your command, or are you ready and waiting to be at someone else's command? But I feel perhaps this is somebody, allies perhaps, ready and waiting to support you. Right, and then we have the Empress. And the Empress is sort of, she's always expecting. But it's like she has plans. She's putting into motion, again, with this figure of Justice. And it's almost, as I say, with the Star. The Star here, everything, you kind of feel like everything's been taken from the Star, and yet she's still hopeful, and yet she still believes everything will be okay. And that's kind of where I get this Justice from. It's like she was the Empress, and now she's the Star, and it's almost like the Empress had everything, and the Empress had so many plans and all of it got ripped away, but she still had hope. She still knew at the back of her mind that she would win out in the end, that she would succeed in the end. And now the time has come. Even though they're not in that order, it sort of feels now the time has come. Now the time is right to exact justice from those that took everything from the Empress, as it were. That's the feeling and the energy I'm getting. Again, I feel like we're proud, start a revolution. Phoenix rising from the ashes, and that's really, really close to the Star. And be careful who you trust, because there will be people who, and I think that was part of the problem. Perhaps we trusted the wrong people, and they ended up, scamming us, stealing from us, taking from us. This Page of Swords wasn't the friend we thought they were. But now, everything's coming together. Now is the time to rise from the ashes. Now is the time to say, now is the time to say hi. Now is the time to be for me. Now is the time to get our justice. Okay, that's the feeling I'm getting from these cards. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you again. Perhaps leave a like, a comment, even perhaps subscribe. It would be lovely. It would be lovely to have you. Take care, and I hope to see you again. Look after yourselves, and mind how you go.